This is Davey White, punctuating your mind. So we are looking at those samples, and we looked at the first line. In the tumultuous world of blah blah blah, where this and this happens, this is the backdrop to Aravind Adiga's epistolary novel, The White Tiger, yes? And I've told you can keep the last part of that sentence and you have to change the first half of the sentence. And we're going to hear people read theirs out. We've also got Sindhu and Samia here who are going to read theirs for Invictus. And so we can help them with that. And we might be able to steal something from theirs, even though it's a different text. We might like a word they use or a way they structure something. If you really don't have anything, just give me a little signal. You don't have to have your name recorded or anything like that. I might point to you or something like that, so you don't have to admit to everyone who listens that you don't have something. But it's important for you to go back and listen to these and write them all down and get as many of these openings as possible. Yes? All right. That person there.
The post-colonial world of India, with its disparity between the hierarchical levels of the caste system that prolongs the nationwide subjugation seen in colonial India, is a backdrop to Aravind Adiga's epistolary novel, The White Tiger.
Okay, I think it's good. You're just a bit too quick. Okay. So a bit louder and a bit quicker. Slower. Yes, that. Slower. When I said quicker, I meant slower. Okay, go.
The post-colonial world of India.
Okay, so the post-colonial world of India. Why are we saying post-colonial world? Because it's after the British have left. Yes.
With its disparity between the hierarchical levels of the caste system.
Okay, why are we saying hierarchical caste system? Because there are levels. Okay, so we're still saying that's how people still think. Yep.
That prolongs the nationwide subjugation seen in colonial India.
Okay, so prolongs, which means? Makes it longer, keeps it happening. Yep.
Is the backdrop to Aravind Adiga's epistolary novel, The White Tiger.
Okay, good. So that makes sense now, yes? All right, good.
The downfalls in a democratic society.
Okay, stop. Straight away, which way are we heading? The downfalls in a democratic society. So what are we being told? This is a society that is democratic or seemingly democratic, but there's problems in it. Okay? All right, keep going.
Shown as the corruption in India is the backdrop to Aravind Adiga's
good.
novel,
So the downfalls in democracy shown as corruption in India is the backdrop to this. Yes? So we can tell that this essay is going to focus a bit more on the corruption and things like that. Yep. Who else has got something in that on that table? That table? This table?
Yeah. The widening chasm between the privileged and deprived.
Okay, stop. The widening chasm between the privileged and the deprived. What does that mean?
Disparity.
The disparity gap. It's also a metaphor, isn't it? It could be. Sometimes chasms are metaphors.
And is privilege?
That's a good question. I always muck that one up.
Okay, it's okay. Go
All right, keep going.
Very D.
Yeah.
I just put one in.
Amidst an immoral government which enhances the stagnant.
Okay, so read the whole thing again because I think we're missing the middle bit because people are chatting. So something about chasm and go on.
Between the privileged and deprived, admits an immoral government which enhances the stagnant
okay, so
nature.
Stop. Amidst, so in between, an immoral government. So now what are we seeing? Some blame about why is there this gap? It's because of in government, immorality, corruption.
Did you say immoral or amoral?
Immoral.
Immoral, yep.
Which enhances the stagnant nature of Indian society is a backdrop to Aravind Adiga's epistolary novel, The White Tiger.
And the fact that Ryan's used the word stagnate or stagnating society, that's telling us that opinion that Adiga has that India is not going to get anywhere while they're too busy trying to subjugate everybody. Yes? So just that one word pushes that idea forward. Okay? What's wrong?
We'll go down about
I feel like you're mocking me. Anything here? Yes. All right, go. Nice and loud.
Aravind Adiga's epistolary novel captures the universal image of India's social injustices between the
Okay, stop. Universal image of India's social injustices. I love that. Brilliant.
between the rich and poor, and a flawed and unscrupulous government system displaying the backdrop to the white type.
Okay, good. I think that when you link to backdrop, it doesn't quite make sense. Maybe is explored or something. We've got to work on that. But that's really great description. Can you read? Do you want her to read it again?
Yeah, just like after injustices.
Universal image of India's social injustices between the rich and poor.
So the universal image of India's social injustices. Yeah. And what was the last bit that you said? That was really good as well.
Flawed and unscrupulous government systems.
Flawed and unscrupulous, which means they don't have scruples. Which I don't know.
By definition.
That is my definition. But I was going to continue, but some of you started choking on your own laughter. And it links a little bit to what Daniel asked Ryan before. Did you say immoral or amoral? So if you don't have scruples, it's a bit of that meh. To me, it's not a problem. And I explained to my class before, when we're talking about whether you think something's right or wrong, don't kill anything. And then there's a fly here, or there's a spider running across your table, and we all kill it, and we all go, but it's a spider. Or it's a fly. We could not care less about killing those things, and that was how Pinky Madam and the rest of that gang felt about killing that kid.
Gang, wow. Like Scooby-Doo all over again.
Yes. It's what?
Scooby-Doo all over again.
Scooby-Doo. Well, it's a different type of Scooby-Doo gang.
And he would have gotten away with it if it weren't for those meddling kids.
Oh no!
That meddling Balram. But that's like, it's a sort of met to a crime. But if we were to kill a kid, we don't go meh. And if any of you are feeling meh, please don't tell me, because I'm going to be dobbing you into someone for possibly being a sociopath. But yes, neck level. But it's so possibly it's actually amoral, and lack of scruples would be so it's lack of rules, lack of morality, lack of concern for things. All right, we're going to hear the two about Invictus now. We're still looking for the patterns and stealing words. Okay, ladies, off you go.
The psychologically divided nation South Africa engulfed in severe
Okay, stop. So she's got the psychologically divided.
Ooh, I like that.
How could we steal that for ours? Could we use psychologically divided, or the socially divided, the psychologically, the fun? There's so many ways we could say there's something or other divided. So that phrase that Sindhu has goes for all of us. If we think to Medea, does it go with that as well? Actually, yes. So suddenly we have a phrase that we can reuse for many of our essay types. And that's how we get better at essays, because we start recycling a lot of our language, and we start to realise we've got some good vocab we can use for many different things. Okay, that's the trick. That's how us teachers start to sound really clever. We say the same things over and over again. We've learnt the trick. All right.
engulfed in severe racial segregation.
Okay, so engulfed in severe racial segregation. Engulfed in severe financial disparity. Engulfed in corruption. So engulfed is a good word. Yep, racial something, segregation.
Segregation of
Yep.
black South Africans by a white minority who had adopted apartheid political system.
Yep,
Is the backdrop.
is the backdrop. Yep, good. Well done. That was very strong.
Thank you.
Okay, Samia.
The inhuman rule of apartheid that
Okay.
brutally
The inhumane rule.
of apartheid that brutally discriminated in privileges the black Africans from the Afrikaners in South Africa in late 1900s is the
backdrop. Good. Okay, so the inhumane, and we could maybe think of an adjective like that. Do we want to call India inhumane, or we could think of something else? The brutal, the something. Okay, so we can do that. All right, let's look at the next couple of sentences. Can you see what everyone did there? They took the patterns, they thought that's an adjective, I'm going to think of an adjective. That's a noun, I'm going to think of a noun. That's really what they did. Let's look at the next sentence. So flip back over. And it says, it is a country where the government is so corrupt that the entrepreneurs of India see crime as necessary, as moral, and as a path to well-earned wealth. So that really is giving a bit of the characters mindset. Balram was pretty much the only way to get out of here is to be a bad person. Yes? So it's a bit of that context, a bit of the background still, but we're really summarising the main character, the protagonist's motivation. So in your group now, try to write a sentence that summarises the protagonist or a different character, but mostly the protagonist's motivation. Okay, off you go. Okay, let's go. We're going to start with Ryan. Go, Ryan.
From where am I meant to be reading?
That second sentence where you said something, set in a country where...
set in a country where corruption is an instinctual habit and citizens
Okay, so
believe...
stop. Corruption is an instinctual habit. So that idea that it actually is bred, it's really part of everybody. It's not an accidental thing that happens here and there. It's fully ingrained in their society. So it's an instinctual habit. All right, keep going. And?
Citizens believe success is deprived from...
Derived?
from...
He actually wrote derived.
from unscrupulous actions.
Yep.
And
the next sentence is?
Adiga subverts the archetypal Indian and constructs his protagonist, Balram.
Okay, so stop there. So it says subverts the archetypal Indian. What has Ryan done? He's stolen a half a sentence from Medea, yes? Euripides subverts the archetypal hero. Now he's suddenly got Adiga subverts the archetypal Indian. Well done. That's exactly what you should be doing. Work smarter, not harder.
Is this... Wait, so it's like two separate sentences, so is Adiga the start of the next sentence?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, keep going.
And constructs his protagonist, Balaram, to be the representative of the corrupt ideology. You want me to keep going?
Yep, keep going.
Thus inviting the Indian audience to perceive Balaram's ultimate desire to escape the physical and psychological constraints of the dishonourable nature of India.
Okay, so dishonourable nature of India, and you've said escape the physical and psychological constraints. So the psychological constraint is called rooster coop. So we're saying psychological constraint is the way we're describing the rooster coop. And with Invictus, there's so many words that you can steal for that.
What's after inviting
the Indian audience to perceive Balaram's ultimate desire to escape.
And so if we think, girls, for Invictus, it's a minority ruling over the majority. So some of it has to be some psychological constraint. Yeah. All right, Shannon. Pardon? Yeah, just whichever one that you want to read. All right, I don't think anyone heard anything you just said. Yes?
I heard
You did not, you lie.
I heard it all.
Okay, can you summarize it, please?
She pretty much said the detrimental success of businesses is because...
Wow, he did really hear it. Okay.
Yeah, I could hear it, but barely hear it.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
I got you.
He read your lips. All right, try it again. Bit louder, please.
The author constructs the novel to demonstrate how entrepreneurs see breaking the law as detrimental to the success of their position in business.
Okay, good. So it's about this mindset. And the idea of entrepreneurs is creating or inventing new things. But the entrepreneur in this situation invented a whole bunch of new rules to live life with. Okay, but sort of took the hint from how society was doing things as well. All right, so that was a really good use of that line there. All right, we've got our next groups here. All right, off you go.
This country's destructive political downfall
Can you say that again, the destructive political?
This country's destructive political downfall perpetuates the necessary immorality of those seeking progression, as Balaram's entrepreneurship is tainted by crime and his path to success leads him to become a fugitive.
Yeah, I'm just thinking in terms of entrepreneurship, maybe even say if you say entrepreneurial nature, that might flow a bit better. Do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I liked what did you say, political something?
Destructive political downfall.
Yeah, so that's hinting at the idea that the way things are going is what's causing their society not to advance in any particular way. All right, off you go.
In a country where social mobility can only be obtained through selfish immorality, the government's corruption stagnates moral reconstruction.
All right, good. So we've got social mobility can only be obtained through selfish immorality. Okay, so 2 key phrases. Really like those. I'm going to move our recording device. Now, who was reading on this side? Yep. Okay, go, Nick.
Entrepreneurs reverts to crime.
Okay, so he's got entrepreneurs reverting to crimes. So it's really falling back on crime as a means to actually get them going. And that was the key thing I wanted you to hear in Nick's. The idea that their fallback position is a life of crime. And I think, what did I say when you were saying that? I think, Shannon, that entrepreneur means inventing rules about crime as about rules of how to fix your pipes or whatever. Yeah. Okay. I feel like I'm making faux pas accidentally today. All right. Our last one.
Balaram personifies Nietzsche's Übermensch, leading him to see crime as an inevitable path to escape the harsh and dissonant reality of underclass struggles in India.
Okay, good. So we've got the phrase underclass struggles, but also we've got Nietzsche's Übermensch mentioned in that particular phrase. It was a good way to put that in there. So you've got personifies Nietzsche's Übermensch, or embodies or epitomizes. There are 3 ways to link that particular phrase in. All right, our last 2 from the ladies here. We've got 1. Okay, go.
This bioepic sport drama.
Biopic, yep.
Biopic sport drama explores how the South Africa's passionate leader, President Nelson Mandela, finds inspiration of uniting this nation and his ultimate belief in reconciliation, cherished with forgiveness, that results in a rainbow nation.
Okay, good. Now you guys are going to want to suck up to Sindhu, because when you're studying Invictus next semester, you might need the head start that she's had for you. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. They'd like you to read it again, please.
Sure. This biopic sport drama explores how the South Africa's passionate leader, President Nelson Mandela, finds inspiration of uniting this nation and his ultimate belief in reconciliation, cherished with forgiveness, that results in a rainbow nation.
Okay.
What does rainbow nation mean?
Rainbow is the different colours all in one together, though. All the colours work together as one thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think it still heard you. Put this at the front of your mind, not at the back of your book. Subscribe. You know you want to.